Did you know in Quantum of Solace, this is actually one of the only times that James doesn't introduce himself in his traditional Bond, James Bond way. It's actually the first time since 1967's You Only Live Twice. They had filmed it in multiple scenes, but they wound up cutting it because they felt it was essentially unnecessary. To top it off, Bond doesn't ask for his martini shaken, not stirred in this film either. Did you know in the Expendables 2, Gunner's backstory is actually the story of the actor who portrays him? Dolph Lundgren's character Gunner is said to have achieved a master's in chemical engineering, then quit to be a bouncer in an attempt to form a relationship with this girl. All of which Dolph Lundgren actually did in real life. The girl was Grace Jones, a famous Jamaican model, singer, and actress. Lundgren was awarded the Fulbright Scholarship to MIT in 1983. However, while preparing for the move to Boston, he was spotted in the nightclub he worked at in Sydney and was hired by Grace Jones as a bodyguard, and the two became lovers. Did you know in Avengers Endgame, the Russo brothers originally thought about giving us a much darker storyline? They talked about having 2014 Thanos massacre and decapitate Captain America, and they were going to have him bring the head back to taunt the Avengers. It ended up being too dark for the group, and they cut that idea. They also had the same issue with Phil Coulson's death back in the 2012 Avengers. Did you know in Spider-Man Homecoming there's a DC Universe joke? When Flash Thompson is the first to answer a question in class but gets it wrong, the teacher responded with, "See Flash, being the fastest isn't always the best." This is likely a joke about the character The Flash, known in the DC world as one of the fastest men alive. Even in the DC universe, there are countless jokes about the Flash being super fast, implying that his powers make him fast in all aspects of his life. Did you know in Thor Ragnarok, we get our first examples of Elders of the Universe? In the Marvel comic, Elders of the Universe are the final beings of a race that are left. They're imbued with immortality, and that helps protect the last of a kind. The Grand Master and the Collector are our first examples of that. Did you know in Thor Ragnarok, the theater actors telling the tragic story of what happened to Loki all look weirdly familiar? That's because the popular actor Matt Damon played Loki in the scene, while Luke Hemsworth, Chris Hemsworth's older brother in real life, enacted Thor. Interestingly, his younger brother, Liam Hemsworth, who's also an actor, was initially considered to play Thor and auditioned for the role. But he convinced the casting director to let his older brother, Chris, also audition for the character. The directors were very impressed with Chris's audition, especially how godlike the actor looked, with blonde hair and muscular physique. And as a result, he's now Marvel's Thor. Did you know in Pretty Woman, the iconic jewelry box snapping scene was improvised? In what's now a modern classic that grossed nearly $500 million worldwide, a scene where Edward snapped shut the necklace box on Vivian's hand wasn't in the script. Director Robert Marshall felt the scene was too boring and took Richard Gere aside, asking him to do this. Julia Roberts' laugh was 100% a genuine reaction to the surprise, and they found it so endearing, they left it in the final take. Did you know in The Lighthouse, Robert and Willem barely spoke to each other throughout filming? Apparently, they were too tired due to the harsh weather conditions. During their time there, Robert stayed in a hotel with the rest of the crew, while Willem stayed in a little fishing cabin alone. While filming, Robert would eat and sit alone while Willem spent a lot of time with the crew. By the time they finally spent some time together properly, they wound up actually enjoying each other's company very much.